You're listening to the BBM Global Network with 25 years in broadcast audio and video production. Our passionate team creates content and marketing for the world of Internet Talk Radio. If you've got a passion, come join us at bbmglobalnetwork.com. The BBM Global Network. Your voice is now heard.
The Rainmaker is here. Join award-winning sales expert Jackie Rainforth as she empowers you with the confidence and information to up-level your skill set and performance while helping you to overcome any of those sales challenges that are holding you back, costing you valuable business. So please welcome your host of Make It Rain Sales, Jackie Rainforth.
Welcome, everybody. It is going to be a great show today. We are going to be talking about the power intro. I am your host, Jackie Rainforth, and it is Make It Rain Sales because we all want to make it rain sales. We are live today on Make It Rain Sales on Bold Brave TV network out of New York City. Yes, and of course, today we're going to have your special guest, Carrie George from CIBN. She is a networker supreme because we're going to be talking about nailing your network and maximizing your connections. Yeah, it's going to be great. We have all sorts of valuable, really incredibly valuable tips. So get your pens out, get your paper out, because today you are going to be writing. You are going to be writing down all sorts of incredible tips and techniques because wow, it's going to be 3 different ways that you can use this power intro. Really, it is phenomenal. Today is one of your best processes that you are ever going to have. And of course, we're going to have Carrie talking about all the different ways that she's going to share all of her best advice and ways that she can maximize the connections and help you maximize your connections. She's going to share with us. So, again, one of the big things that we want to do today is talk about nailing your networking, and one of the things that I use is my power intro. Before we get to that, I want to talk to you about staying to the end. If you stay to the end, we have got a ton of freebies for you. Really great freebies and giveaways, and you really want to stay. The other thing too, this is a live show, so you can call in and ask questions. If you want us to work on your power intro, call in 1-866-451-1451. Let me say that again, and I'll say it a little slower. 1-866-451-1451. So let's get started. Let me tell you a story. I go to this event and I'm talking to these people, and of course, what's the first thing that people ask? Oh, what do you do? And you get, oh, I'm a realtor. Oh, I'm a designer. Oh, I'm a sales rep. I sell blah, blah, blah. Guess what? That's what you get. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, people, how do you engage? How do you create impact? How do you get people, the receiver? How do you create conversation? Because it's conversation that leads to sales opportunities. And that's what you're looking for. You need to create those sales opportunities. And listen, we need to really power up those introductions. And that's how I created this power intro. What are you looking for? You need to create impact. You need to create differentiation. You need to really engage that receiver. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some of the things that you can do to, 1, add credibility and impact, add differentiation, add word of mouth, right? Credibility to what you're doing. And of course, creating those conversations, creating that impact. So this is what we're going to do. Get your pens out. The first thing you're going to do, I am. You're going to answer that question, what do you do? So what do you do? Let's say I am a realtor, or I am whatever it is. I'm a sales trainer. Whatever it is that you do, write down, I am a. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add, I am a professional, I am an expert, or I am a specialist. How hard is it to add that word to it? It up-levels your credibility and authority right from the get-go. Yeah. I was at an event the other day and I had taught this to somebody, and she's a divorce coach. Has the word coach not been watered down 100 times over? Of course it has. She goes, I'm a divorce professional. Does that not up-level it? Think about it. I'm a realtor. I'm a real estate professional. I am a divorce specialist. I mean, come on. There's so much more that you can be doing out there, guys. That is tip number one. Really amp it up with another word. Now listen, we need to take a break now, but when I come back, we're going to talk about so many more things that you can do to up-level your power intro and 3 different ways that you can use it. And we're going to talk to Carrie George, our specialist, on all the things that you can do to amp up, nail your networking, and maximize your connections. We'll be right back. It's Jackie Rainforth, your host on Make It Rain Sales at Bold Brave TV and Make It Rain Sales.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Again, I'm your host, Jackie Rainforth with Make It Rain Sales on Bold Brave TV Network. Today, we're talking about nailing your networking and maximizing your connections, because let's face it, it is all about maximizing your connections. And networking is always, it feels so uncomfortable when you're doing it, but let's face it, it's all about who you know, right? It's all about who you know and then giving those referrals. That's your number one source today. It's all about trusting. It's who do you know and them referring you to other people. And today we have the master of networking, Carrie George from CIBN. Let me tell you a little bit about Carrie. Carrie George is a professional networker who has facilitated over 6,000 networking meetings and has been a keynote speaker for hundreds of online and live events. Her organization, CIBN Connect, has conducted over 500 live events annually for more than a decade, and she now assists thousands of business owners every year through her online networking portals. The CIBN Connect online networking programs are now attracting thousands of visitors per year, and her mastermind series has been having a dramatic effect on revenue of entrepreneurs, changing the way they do business in our current world circumstances. Again, as CEO of CIBN Connect, Carrie inspires entrepreneurs with vision and passion. It is her goal that entrepreneurs should not just survive, but thrive, no matter what the economy is doing. Thank you. And Carrie, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you here because you know everything there is to know about about networking, don't you? Please tell us what is your number one piece of advice when it comes to networking these days, especially these days because things have changed, right? Everything's changed.
Absolutely. I mean, now we're doing everything online. And by the way, I love online. Absolutely love it because it is a quarter of the time for our networkers. It is a quarter of the cost. And we are seeing about 3 to 4 times the profitability as people are networking online because it is so much more effective. So it's actually quite brilliant to be doing it over Zoom or over these different channels and booking a meeting from the meeting, right from the meeting. So if I were going to give you some tips, I'd like to come back for a second to what you were talking about earlier. But before I do that, I just want to say when you're in a meeting, always book a meeting from the meeting. That would be my number one tip, always.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you don't actually book the meeting, you didn't have a meeting. Because everything comes down to the follow-up. And if you don't actually have follow-ups lined up, then what happens, right? The next day you come back, and in the old days we were collecting the business cards and you threw them into a box, and then you had a box of business cards. Well, that was ridiculously futile, right? So, we started doing this with live meetings many years ago where we would actually book the meeting at the meeting because people are there to network. And I have booked as many as 34 meetings in one meeting. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've done it live as well as online as well as live. So,
wow.
And we teach our members how to do this all the time. But let's come back for a second to what we were talking about before, because you were talking about the infomercial. I mean, that is incredibly important that everybody has an infomercial and you nail down what your infomercial is.
Well, the power intro, because it's important, right? That you absolutely create that intrigue where you get people asking more. They want to know more instead of, oh, thanks, and move on to somebody else in the room, right? You want to keep them there, right? You need to intrigue them.
You want them to stand out. You want to stand out amongst all the people that are there.
Absolutely.
And it's incredibly important to stand out, or else it's a lot like a one-night stand. You go collect all this information and you can't remember your name the next day.
Right. Well, there's nothing worse. You're talking to somebody and they're looking over your shoulder trying to find who else they can talk to, right? That's not a good feeling. No.
So here's something you can do. Yes, you need to know your basics, like who you are, what you do, and using those power words, to get that, them looking at you like a professional. That's a great idea. But here, let me turn it around for you so that the way that you introduce yourself is a little bit different. Do you have a client that you've actually kicked it out of the park for? Somebody that you've actually really had a great result for? So when you start your infomercial, instead of saying, hi, I'm Carrie George, I'm with CIBN Connect, we do business networking. Okay, you've already zoned me out. Okay, how about we do this? Hi, I'm Carrie George. Let me tell you about one of the clients that I worked with last week. I have an auto mechanic in my network who's been in business for 18 years. And during COVID, he almost went out of business, but we were able to help him through our mastermind program. And we were able to turn that around. And he has recently reported that 2020 was his best year ever in 18 years of business. So who do you know that is really struggling right now? Because I would like to be introduced to that person. Now, you see, awesome. I did not. Yeah, I shared, this is my testimony, right? And then I said, this is what I do. This is what I'm looking for. And then at the end, I said, who do you know? I did not say, do you want to use my services?
Yes.
Because the answer to that is no, I don't.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. And there's a couple of things that you've done there, which are absolutely aligned with what I do, right? One, you're using a word of mouth testimonial because you can say, hey, I'm great. You should use me. But it sounds so much better when you're talking about a client, because when a client's saying who, this is who loves us, right? It's so much better. And it's all about word of mouth. And so, yeah, absolutely. You nailed it. That's perfect. And who do you know opens it up, of course, instead of do you know, close-ended question, right? That's perfect. Right. And it's a story. People love stories. People remember the stories. Carrie, you've done a 3-banger, 3 actions, all in one simple power intro. That's great.
It's very effective to do it like that. And I think if you practice it, you will find that it feels better. It feels nicer. And you also get results as the people come back. Oh, really? You had that results? Yeah, my friend needs that. Or, oh, I need that, because the testimony then, triggers something emotionally inside of them that they're going, oh, I know someone.
Oh, that was phenomenal. What a phenomenal. Guys, I hope you wrote that down. That is amazing. That is, oh, wow. No wonder you're so good. No wonder you are so good. So you got that, right? You introduce yourself. You are an expert, a professional, a specialist. Then you're going to talk about word of mouth. Customers love us, or you're going to tell a story about why you're so great. Then you're going to include the story about what you did for them. You're going to ask, who do you know that might be interested? Not do your sales pitch. Do not pitch and promote people. People do not like that, right? You're going to tell the story about why you were successful and how you helped them. That's the important thing. 3-banger. And you're going to be authentic in how you present that. Right, Carrie? Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That is, superstar. You are a
If you
superstar.
get that down, you got it. And then book your meeting. Book the meeting from the meeting while we're having a meeting.
Book the meeting. Absolutely. Phenomenal job. Absolutely knocking it out of the park. That's great, Carrie. Thank you so much. When we return, we've got more pieces. How can you top that? That was so great. But when we come back, we've got more pieces of phenomenal and inspirational and valuable takeaways from the great Carrie George from CIBN. So stay tuned because, like I said, we have got more value from Carrie George, CIBN. I'm your host, Jackie Rainforth from Make It Rain Sales here on Bold Brave TV. See you soon.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
It was almost instant. I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. It is your host, Jackie Rainforth of Make It Rain Sales on Bold Brave Media TV. Thank you for staying tuned. Again, we have some phenomenal advice from Carrie George. She is giving us value here today. We've got the power intro. Now, remember, guys, this intro, if you stay tuned to the end of the show, we are going to give you the free power intro that you can download. Yes, you can download this, fill it in for yourself. And yeah, so, but we always give you a little bit more on the show, which is really exciting. So stay tuned for all those extra little tips and techniques. That's what we give you here on the show. So that's why you tune in live. And here's the thing, Carrie's going to give us some extra added advice right now. She's going to give us her top mistake, the biggest mistake that people make in networking and why they make it, right? Carrie, please share with us, because, you know, people go through life and they make these mistakes and they have no idea that they're making them, let alone why they're making them, but they make these mistakes and they just have no idea. So please, let the viewers know, what is the biggest mistake that they make in networking?
The biggest mistake that I see in networking is inconsistency. And I think people need to realize like why they're making that mistake. I think they're thinking that it's not that important. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're not making $150,000 a year from your networking, you're doing it wrong. Okay? And that's why you think it's not important.
So inconsistency, how? What do you mean?
Okay, well, there's a variety of ways of being inconsistent. First of all, you need to belong to a group that people get to know, like, and trust you at, so that you come to that group regularly. And I meet people all the time who say, well, no, you don't understand, Carrie. I need to go to the big group. I got to put myself out there. Got to be in front of lots of people. You know, what that screams is I need to be in front of lots of competitors where nobody will remember me, and I'm going to be like a one-night stand, and nobody's going to know my name tomorrow. So that is like useless. What you actually need to be is in front of people who get to know, like, and trust you, who are like family, because family cares about you. You have relationship with family, and you see they think about you during the week. And so they're actually repeating the story that you said, you know, what it is that you do and what you need and the results that you're having. And if you don't have family that's doing that for you, then you have nothing. And, you know, this is another one I hear all the time. Well, I just use word of mouth. Word of mouth? Whose mouth? How do you count that? I mean, like, what is the data on that? If you're actually networking effectively with a group of people who get to know, like, and trust you, and I say I use word of mouth, I can say, yes, actually, there are 22 mouths working for me, for my networking group, every week, and I know exactly who they are, and I know what they're saying because I taught them what to say every week as they got to know, like, and trust me. But I see people saying, well, no, you know, I don't want to see the same people, you know, they're bored of listening to me. Darn right, they should be, and they need to get that way so that it becomes second nature to actually repeat your story, right?
Oh,
and they
I love
need to be able
you.
to do it in their sleep. And they need to be able to do it so well that if their 5-year-old heard them, that they could repeat that to their friend's mommy, and it would make sense. You see?
Very important point, right? The people you talk to need to be able to repeat what you say to other people. Your intro has to be so simple and so straightforward. I mean, how many people have these intros that are like, that are so confusing and so over the top that you're looking at them like stunned bananas going, I have no idea what you are talking about. I have no idea what you do. It needs to be simple, people. I sell widgets, right? It's kind of like Bruno in our first episode. I sell widgets. That's what I do. Not I blah, 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 blah. Like, people need to repeat it. And this is why. Good job.
No tech talk, no acronyms, nice and simple, easy peasy, so that people actually know what you do. And your stories, I mean, if your stories are so good that people are repeating them, that is brilliant. That's exactly what you want, right? So, and then the consistency is incredibly important, because otherwise they're not going to remember you. Why do you go down to 7-Eleven and buy a Coca-Cola? Because you've been programmed to buy Coca-Cola from Coca-Cola since you were born. It's on the sides of trucks. It's on the commercials. We can sing their songs. You've been touched by that company hundreds of thousands or millions of times in your lifetime. And then you meet somebody one time, and they don't buy from you, or they don't give you a lead, and you're like, well, what's wrong? How come? Well, they don't know you. You're not Coca-Cola. So you've got to get them to come back again and again and again. And there's got to be these multiple touches. And if you don't have multiple touches, it takes 7 to 14 at least. They're saying that maybe to 62 now. okay, because of all the online stuff. And if you're not doing this online with them, then what's happening? They don't remember you.
Yeah.
Inconsistency.
Absolutely. They say you need to see a beer commercial 10 times before you even recognize the brand of beer. Like, yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Carrie, your advice is amazing. It is so beneficial. Viewers, I hope you're getting this. Remember, you can call in. You can ask us questions. If you have questions about this, call us 1-866-451-1451. If you want us to work on your power intro, call us. We will work with you here. We will make you our guinea pig, and we will amp up your power intro and make sure that when you go to those networking events, you are ready to go. Anyway, Carrie, she has got such great advice. And I tell you, this is an incredible episode where we have got some remarkable advice for you. And Carrie is knocking it out of the park, you guys, like I'm telling you. So again, let's do this. Let's come back, tune in. We've got more for you. Again, I'm your host, Jackie Rainforth on Bold Brave TV Network, and this is Make It Rain Sales. We will have more tips for you, so stay tuned. Come on back. Again, Make It Rain Sales. Stay tuned.
The opiate epidemic has reached crisis levels, and with so many families affected by addiction, opiate-related drug overdoses, and death, the time is now to have a real constructive conversation about addiction that could lead to better prevention, treatment, and recovery. Alan Charles, author and keynote speaker on drug abuse and prevention, presents The Alan Charles Show. Alan brings a message of hope, sharing his unbelievable story of surviving a 24-year addiction to cocaine and highlights from his memoir, Walking Out the Other Side, an addict's journey from loneliness to life. His raw honesty and courageous heart breaks the stigma of addiction and offers a unique perspective into the mind of an addict. Join Alan each week as he brings his listeners to a true understanding of the grip of addiction. It is only with this understanding that we can begin to heal. The Alan Charles Show, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network. Have you ever felt like no one is listening, or you're not getting the honest attention you deserve? Do you even know the kind of attention you want or need? You are not alone. Alice Aspen March is here to help. Thanks to Alice, through her epiphany and research over the word attention, there are solutions to the attention dilemma. Worldwide audiences have been enthralled and engaged for over 40 years with her visionary and pioneering observations. The kind of attention we get and give is vital to improving our lives and society. Alice and her weekly guests review game-changing insights for transforming and improving our understanding of attention, providing techniques for creating healthier and empowering behavior. Get a new perspective on a mainstream word. Tune into Why Our Attention Matters for fresh and thought-provoking conversations every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on boldbravemedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying tuned. Is this not the most, wow show, right? I know. Carrie has, hey, listen, she is the master of networking for a reason. But listen, she's going to give you the best advice now. This is her special sauce. This is it. And you want to be writing this down because this is her value point. This is what makes her the most incredible, remarkable, beneficial wowzer in the world of marketing. So, in the world of networking and marketing. This is it. Get ready. I'm going to ask her, how do you maximize your connections?
All right. So at CIBN Connect, one of the things that we have is the networking success path. It's one of the things that makes our company unique. We actually walk you through how to do this because it isn't obvious right off the bat. When I started doing networking, I was making $150,000 a year, bringing in money for my marketing business, getting clients from individuals that would pay me to do their marketing. And I was mentored as I did this, okay? And that's how I learned that it could be done very effectively. I was already making money at it when I started to look around and realize that other people aren't making this kind of money from their networking. Well, why not? What are they doing what's going on here? And then I started to realize that there were certain components that were missing in their networking. They weren't treating it seriously. They weren't doing it consistently. And then they weren't doing this thing that I call collaborating partners, which is incredibly important. And without this piece, you are leaving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the table. So here's the thing. When you go out networking, we're all looking for this perfect person, okay? We're like, I need to find this guy. And the guy that I'm looking for has to be, and you've got your list, right? It's got to be like, he makes this much money, he's got this many computers in his office, or he's got this many clients, or this many employees, or whatever. And that's the person I'm looking for. And then you get out there and you go, well, that person isn't in the room. Oh, well, this networking thing isn't for me. Well, I got news for you. They're never in the room. Ever. Get over it. Doesn't matter. The person that you're looking for actually is the guy that knows him. Okay. So what you're really looking for is a collaborating partner, somebody who has the same target market as you. And that guy is in the room. So I'm going to give you an example. Like if I was a realtor and I wanted to actually get in front of first-time home buyers, right? People who sell life insurance, people who are mortgage brokers, people who do renovations, these are collaborating partners because their clients are my clients. They're exactly the same as the client that I'm looking for. But how do I get them to give me their clients? Well, if I'm just running around doing this onesie twosie thing with no consistency, they're never giving you those people. Never. Why would they? They don't know you. They don't know, like, and trust you. And you wouldn't give them your best clients either, right? But here's the thing. If you take time to get to know the person who has the same client list that you have, like in target market, right? Then the reality is you got somebody who could literally feed you 3 to 5 buyers. Read my lips. Buyers. 3 to 5 buyers a month. Every month. Month after month. Coming at you. Okay? How would you like to have 3 to 5 collaborators who send you 3 to 5 warmed up leads who are buyers every month? Wouldn't that make a difference in your bottom line? Well, I know it sure made a difference in mine, and that's how I started to realize that this networking thing wasn't about who was in the room. It was about who knows the people that I need to know. Who are those people? And I need to invest a little extra time getting to know them because otherwise they're not going to want to give me these leads. And here's a classic mistake, Jackie. We go for a one-on-one one time, and then we leave feeling good, and I'm like, well, he didn't give me any leads. That was a waste of time. Not true. If the person is an actual collaborator for you and you enjoyed the experience, you've got the like part out of the way. So what you really need to do is have a second meeting. You need to get that second meeting. And on the second meeting, see, the first meeting we talked about, you do what you do, I do what I do. We share this information back and forth that we talk for 40 minutes or an hour. And if we just left feeling good, that's the end of it. We had a social call. We didn't actually do any business. All right. But if we book the second meeting, we should talk about things like, what's your vision? What's your why? And I should share mine with some vulnerability with that person and see, do we click? Yes, we do. Okay. Now book a third meeting. What? That's all this time invested. We're talking about somebody who will feed you 3 to 5 leads a month, every month. Month after month. Yes, you have to invest some time. Nobody is doing that with a stranger. So I recommend that you actually have 3 meetings with this potential collaborator to establish the know, like, and trust factor. The first one is who I am, what do I do? The second one is the vision and the why. And then the third meeting, this time you meet with a lead, one lead, and you say, I'm going to give you this lead. I'd like to know, what are you going to do with this lead? How are you going to talk to my person? And what kind of things you're going to share with them. And then we have this conversation back and forth about what I would do with the lead that you give me. If you don't show up with one, I'm going to ask you to come up with one within the week and send it to me. And then we're going to CC each other in on an email doing a proper introduction. That is incredibly important because if you just give me this lead and I call your friend Bob, who doesn't know me, and I say, hey, Jackie said I should call you, I will have some effect. But it would be better if Jackie actually did an email introducing Bob to Carrie, saying good things about Bob, saying good things about Carrie. And then it would be even better if Jackie said something like this, Bob, Carrie is an incredibly busy person. And Carrie, I know that you are so busy right now, but I would really appreciate it if you would take some extra time right away here and talk to my friend Bob, because he really, really needs this to happen. And if you would take some time out of your schedule, I would appreciate it. As your friend, I really would call on this favor from you. If she sets that up like that, Bob and Carrie are talking. And that's that.
Wow. Okay, guys, is that not extraordinary? Is that not an extraordinary piece of advice for you? Is that not value, value, value? Think about it. That is nailing your networking. That is maximizing your connections. That is Carrie George's special sauce. Whoa! That is why you tune in to Make It Rain Sales, so you can get those pieces of advice that will up-level your skill set, maximize your productivity, and take your sales to the next level. We are here, Make It Rain Sales. I'm your host, Jackie Rainforth, on Bold Brave TV Network, and we will be right back with some really great last pieces of advice and our free giveaways. So stay tuned.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Again, if you want to reach out and ask us your questions on Make It Rain Sales here with Carrie George from CIBN and your host, Jackie Rainforth on Bold Brave TV Network, please call us at 1-866-451-1451. Carrie's giving us really helpful advice. I had a question for Carrie, and my question is, what happens if you do all this great stuff and you offer to help people and they don't do it in return, right? You're helping them, you're giving them leads, but they're not doing it for you. What happens then? Or how do you handle that, Carrie?
Well, you're looking for collaborating partners.
Oh, we do have a caller. Okay, caller. Hi there. Welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Awesome. Hello. Good morning, ladies. This is Greg Belanger calling again. And
Hi, Greg.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much. Wow, what a great subject. What a great topic. And you ladies are just bringing so much energy to the screen. I'm almost vibrating. So thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks.
So listen,
Greg.
So Carrie, I'm new to this formalized networking groups. I see a lot of value in it. I'm still trying to figure out, but the question I have is, how much time should I be devoting to doing all this networking on a daily, weekly, monthly effort. I looked at another networking group, and there was an expectation that they want me to volunteer, 5 hours a week plus, and I was kind of voluntold to do it, and I'm thinking, geez, why would I spend so much time trying to build up others' business when I kind of have my own priorities? So I'll hang up and let you answer that and run with it. Okay. So again, thank you very much, ladies.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Greg. Awesome.
Bye-bye.
So Greg is bringing up an excellent point that we run into all the time. People are asking about, first of all, how much time do I need? It's a loaded question, because if you want to get money from networking, the more time you spend in networking, you're going to make the money. But he brought up a separate issue, which is many of these organizations ask for your volunteerism. So at CIBN Connect, we do not ask for the volunteerism of our members. We expect you to show up, do the networking for yourself. And we have staff that run our business. We don't need to actually milk our members and make them come out like they are, our personal slaves to get our work done for us. Okay. So, if you want to go join those networks, have fun with that. They'll wear you out and convince you that networking doesn't actually work because you wasted all your time doing their work instead of your work. So at CIBN, we don't do that. We're like, come on in, do your networking, book your meeting from your meeting, and go from there. And as much networking as you want to do is what you can do, because we have multiple meetings, so you can go to as many as you want. You don't have to just go to one, you can go to many. And if you want to belong to another group, we don't care. We're like, Yahoo, let's teach you how to do it so you can do it well everywhere you go. So you don't run into that either, because that's another thing our competitors do. They'll say, you can only network with us. We now own you. And by the way, your 5 hours of volunteerism is due. So we're just not those people. So you can avoid that. But what do you do with your networking time? Yeah, the more you put in, the more money you should make, right? If you're doing the right activity, which comes back to what we were talking about before. If you are establishing who these connecting partners are, the collaborators that you can work with, the ones who already have clients, right? Then you can actually convince them to give you some of their clients by investing time into them. So that's a very good use of your time. So if I met with Jackie, say 3 times, first time she told me what she does, and I tell her what I do. Second time, she tells me what her vision is. She tells me what her why is. And I feel like, I'm getting to know her better. And I kind of can come into alignment with that. That's good stuff. So about the third time, she asked me, what do you do when you give that referral to them and they don't give anything back to you, right? All right, that sucks. I'm totally with you on that. And that should not be. So how do we get that problem to stop? Well, here's the thing. You have to do this methodically. You have to do it with a system, with a purpose. You can't just wing it. Okay. So the first meeting, we were kind of winging it. You do, I do, right? Second meeting, vision, why, covering that. Third meeting, before the third meeting, on the second meeting, at the end of it, you say, look, let's get together again next week. And this time I'm going to bring you a lead and I would like you to bring me one. So set it up for success right from the beginning. Now you're meeting with them, you've brought the lead with you, and you're going to talk to them about that lead. You're going to ask them, what are they going to do with it? How are they going to talk to them? And then you're going to say, and then where's my lead? Did you bring one for me? Right? And if they say, oh, no, I didn't get a chance to do that. I haven't talked to anyone yet. So, well, okay, fine. But I expect that to happen before the end of the week on Friday at 5. Okay? I actually do, because in 2 weeks from now, we're going to get back together and talk about what happened with our leads. And if you don't send me one, then we'll not have a discussion. And I was really hoping that I could feed you 3 to 5 leads a month. And if you are not willing to do that for me, then I need to move on and find other collaborating partners, because I'm running a business, not a charity. Hello.
Yeah. I get the expectations and setting expectations, and I guess it happens though, right? There always seems to be someone, that has, kind of here and here, right? And sometimes it's not always equal.
Maybe we're not feeling comfortable to ask, but it's just like sales, Jackie. You got to ask.
Yes.
Actually,
you don't ask, you don't get. I get that.
So one of the best referral guys I ever seen was a fellow who worked in the insurance industry, and he would get like 10 referrals every time he had an appointment. How did he get those? Actually, I could teach you the technique at CIBN Connect because we learned it. But here's
Are you
the
going to
thing.
give us a clue or what?
Yeah, the biggest thing is he asked. He just
Yes,
asked. He had 10 different questions. They gave him 10 different answers, and it was part of his process, and he did it every time. Really, that's the short version, right? But most of us are either too lazy to ask, or we don't know to ask. It could be another reason why, or we're uncomfortable asking, just like we're uncomfortable asking for the sale. Well, get over it. You've got to ask. You can't get it if you don't ask.
Don't ask,
right?
You don't get. It's that simple. And it's like follow-up, right? People are afraid of the dejection and the rejection, so they don't follow up. It's the same thing. It's that awkward uncomfortableness, so people don't do it. And that's what happens, right?
Right, but if you set up your follow-up before you actually do it in the same way, if you say, I'm going to call you next Friday at 5, right? Yes. And if the guy says yes to the call, you got a sale. He's not saying yes because he's...
Or what I do too. So if you use this power intro, right? And I say there's 3 ways you can do it. You can do it with a one-on-one introduction when you're networking, you see someone or you're talking to someone. You can do it on the telephone. And you can do it with email. What you do is there's 3 things that you can do. You can set up and give them 3 times. And when you give them 3 times, the person is more likely to pick one. And don't give them 3 times like, 2 weeks out. Give them 3 times like in the next couple days. So most likely they will choose one of those 3 times to meet with you. And that way you can secure the meeting. And don't say, oh, I want to talk to you about, and do your big pitch. Just say, hey, listen, I'd like to have a casual conversation to see if we're a great fit. That's it. That's all you do, right? That's it. Just to see if we're a fit. It's not a hard sell, a big pitch, or whatever, but just use that power intro. And again, you can just I don't want to give away the secret. We'll talk about the secret after our commercial break when we get back. But for now, that is what you can do. You can use the power intro. We'll give it away as our free gift when you stay to the end. But again, you want to be able to, you can use that in the 3 different ways. So Carrie, couple things. What are the best ways for you? You were talking about your mastermind. Can you tell us more about that, your mastermind?
Well, the mastermind is different than networking. It's actually brainstorming strategy sessions. So in a networking meeting, you go and you get a lead. But in a mastermind, you go and get a strategy.
Okay. That's interesting too. So that's another way to make great connections.
No, actually, it isn't. It's not. You're not there for a connection. You're there for a strategy. A strategy could be a technique that actually adds $80,000 to your bottom line this year if you apply it right away.
Okay. Wow. And that's all through CIBN?
CIBN Connect, the CIBN.com.
Okay. Perfect. And that's how people can get a hold of you?
The CIBN.com. You can also find us on YouTube at CIBN TV. And we have a lot of great advice for you on YouTube, and it's free for you. So just come on down, CIBN TV.
Great. That's terrific. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you for your great advice. We sure appreciate it. So everybody, when we get back, we're going to talk about all the great things we can provide for you for staying tuned, and the power intro, how you can download it and how you can use it, and what we're going to be doing next week. So stay tuned.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery, or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness. Unlock your full potential with limitless growth. Published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Hey everyone, thank you for staying tuned. It's Jackie Rainforth here on Make It Rain Sales on Bold Brave TV Media. We are talking today about nailing your networking and maximizing your connections. We've had some incredibly beneficial advice here today from Carrie George from CIBN. And wow, again, I hope you've been taking notes and writing things down. We have got some incredible giveaways today. If you want sales actions, and I mean downloadable in your mailbox every 2 weeks, sales actions that will keep you on track, and you want those delivered to your email, all you have to do is email us at info@rainmakersgroup.ca, and we will have those delivered to you, to your mailbox every 2 weeks to keep you focused so you can maximize your sales. So the other thing, go to rainmakersgroup.ca, the Make It Rain tab, and sign up for your power intro. There's a sign up sheet there. Just download that and you will get Nail Your Networking. It's got the power intro, all sorts of tips and techniques. Again, rainmakersgroup.ca, Make It Rain tab. You go in there and sign up for Nail Your Networking. And tune in next week. We have got Lisa L. We will be talking about how to cultivate and nurture cold leads. Yes, how to go out there, cultivate and nurture your cold leads. It's all about prospecting next week, so tune in. Again, thank you for joining us. Go to rainmakersgroup.ca, Make It Rain page for all sorts of great deals, freebies, and giveaways. And again, thank you for staying tuned. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Greg, for calling in. Thank you, Carrie George. Great tips. Again, Make It Rain Sales on Bold Brave TV Network. Jackie Rainforth, I'm your host. We will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
This has been Make It Rain Sales with host Jackie Rainforth. Join us each week for a unique, engaging, and interactive new way to have your sales questions answered and start taking your sales from stalled to unstoppable as you make it rain sales in your business.
You've been listening to the BBM Global Network. The ideas, views, and opinions of this broadcast are those of the participants of the program and are not necessarily the ideas, views, and opinions of the BBM Global Network Company.